It is Friday, and I feel like we are here, but we're not all there.
That sounds about right.
But we are here with you this evening and hope to see some of our familiar faces.
Yeah, we did not post the teaser for the live. We just came down here and went live. So we'll wait for some people to file in. Let us know where you're from. Do you have plans for the weekend, and do they involve carnivore?
Oh, involve carnivore. Interesting.
Well, it doesn't mean your plan is around carnivore, but are you doing something this weekend and having carnivore related foods with it?
Oh, we are. We are doing things this weekend and having pretty decent carnivore foods around it. We'll get into that in just a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the name of the game, right? Be pretty carnivore.
Carnivore and pretty.
We should have named the channel The Pretty Carnivore and just had you on and not me at all.
I will say though, I got a compliment recently. You've already heard this. You have not. I got one of the best compliments ever recently. And it's someone that I see every week, but we're usually in a meeting and we had a little chat time. It's on Zoom. And we had a little chat time, just the two of us. And she's like, "You look so alive." Well,
that's a pretty low bar.
No, I took it as an amazing compliment. And she's like, she's like, "I know I'm not supposed to mention weight. That's not correct. But, you look like you've lost weight, but mostly you just look like you're so alive." And I was like, well, I am. But I do remember, and she's witnessed this for my decades. I remember walking through the day like I was half asleep.
Zombie.
Half zombie mode. Brain is offline, body's offline, everything's offline.
And what changed?
What changed?
Yeah.
Well, the first thing I did was give up gluten.
Yeah.
And that did make a substantial impact. But as I slid further into perimenopause, it wasn't quite cutting it. And so the biggest thing was carnivore. I mean, eating a meat-based diet has really changed my life and impacted our family life and impacted my work life. I couldn't be doing what I'm doing at work right now if I weren't carnivore. I wouldn't be able to even track what I was doing. And I see a future that's hopefully healthy and vibrant, and I can still look alive.
I've never had anybody tell me I look so alive. But of course, I don't encounter people in my day-to-day life if I can avoid it. So it doesn't happen very often.
So if you are new here, which I don't think you probably are, but maybe you are in the replay, I'm JJ. I am a life coach and I eat mostly meat.
I'm Eric. I'm ostensibly a novelist and I eat meat and microbes.
Yes.
Mostly meat and eggs.
Yes.
And we've been carnivore for over 1,000 days.
Yes.
Probably 1,100 by now.
Probably.
And it has been an extraordinary adventure. JJ has amazing energy. I have somewhat less. But we've had incredible healing from eating this way, even though it seemed crazy to us.
It did.
I mean, I had done keto and that was fairly meat heavy, but going to just meat, eggs, fats, even when I did it, it was out of desperation because I didn't know what else to do. Mm-hmm. I had every green smoothie known to human kind.
Yes.
And they were torture. Not only did they taste terrible, but not terrible when I put a lot of sweetener in them, squeezing honey or bananas into them, but they destroyed my digestion. Mm-hmm. So there's just nothing ever helped until finally eliminating out those plants just was a renaissance for my gut.
It was a renaissance.
Have you had a renaissance in your gut?
I've had a hormonal renaissance, but yeah. Presumably a gut renaissance, but I didn't have all the gut issues.
JJ was a napper, and sometimes she didn't know she needed one. And sometimes I would have to inform her that she needed one. And you have to do that carefully.
Yes.
It doesn't matter how many years into a marriage you get. You don't just say, go take a nap. Well, I mean, you could. That's not how it works in our house.
No.
But she sometimes needed one.
Yeah. But when you suggested it, I could usually get on board.
Yeah.
I knew where you were coming
Usually
from.
I didn't have to. You would be like, we'd go out to the store or something for an hour and we'd come home and you'd be like, I've got to lie down. And you never do that anymore.
No, never.
I don't remember well, you took a nap when you were sick.
Yeah.
You had a stomach bug.
I slept.
Yeah, you slept all day.
Slept.
But otherwise, you just don't. I take naps
Yeah.
a couple of times a week, but you don't.
No.
But the energy that you've got is goals for me. Do kids still say goals like that? I felt like that was really forced. I felt like maybe that didn't work.
Well, I think though, even though you don't have the energy I have, we have had a weird week. There have been a lot of little things creeping up.
Yeah.
Nothing too major, but like you've been working, we're entertaining this weekend, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But every time you go to use a piece of equipment, there have been issues.
Yep.
And you've had to do a lot of troubleshooting and just not able to stay on the path that you want to, that you've set out for the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had the same. And we also had our dog, Arrow. This was one of the things. We were out taking him for a third walk, which we try to keep him a little more limited now that he's getting a little bit older. It's just better for his joints and everything. But this night the sun had broken out. It had been cloudy. We'd had rain. The sun broke out and we were like, let's go. And it's always a chance for us to connect too.
Mm-hmm.
So we took another round around the property, and Arrow usually stays with us, but sometimes he takes side quests. He took a side quest, no big deal. And we heard him barking at an animal. That happens frequently. But then the barks turned bad.
They turned into yelps of agony.
Yeah.
And distress.
Yes.
I did not like that.
No, it was not our favorite thing. Luckily, we were able to locate him because, he was vocalizing. So that made it a little easier. And he was scuffling with a raccoon. Now, he meets up with animals, and usually it's not a scuffle.
No, it's pretty one-sided.
Yeah. But he was down a ravine in the brook, and we caught him. The raccoon was in its death throes. So that was good. And Arrow was
not
moving.
for the raccoon.
Not for the raccoon.
At least Arrow wasn't actually that injured.
Yes.
Because he was moving.
Yeah. We couldn't call him off.
Yeah.
And that's unusual too, because usually we can, but I mean, he
had it in his mouth.
He was in it.
He was
yeah,
doing that thing.
So we left him because he knows his way home. It's not a big deal. So we left him.
Just stopping right here.
Yeah.
Because some will judge us for allowing this to happen,
Oh.
but you can get between a dog and a raccoon if you want. I'm not doing that under any circumstances.
Well,
if it was a child, I'd be down there in it.
Yeah.
But it was a steep ravine.
Yeah.
And I would just as likely have slipped, fallen, and broken my ankle, and then she would have two problems to deal with.
Yeah, it was a steep ravine and very lots of
moving.
Well, yeah, but there were a lot of brush and thorns and things to get down there, and yeah. So anyway, we knew that the raccoon was dead or nearly dead, so we were going to let him walk home, and he did, and he was limping a little bit, and we're like,
he didn't bring the raccoon, which is unusual.
Yeah.
Because usually his big deal is where he's going to hide it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, and you noticed right away, he had a little swelling on one of his front legs, and there appeared to be a little bit of blood, nothing major. So I had to take him into the bath, and I washed him down to try to find out what was happening with him. And we knew that he nipped his ear, or his ear was cut or bit or something. We don't know. And he definitely, by that evening, was not walking on the leg at all. So that whole thing was a bit of a glitch in the week. And then the next day we did take him to the vet, and he was due for his rabies shot in just a couple of weeks. So he got his rabies shot and some antibiotics. Cause again, actually I'm sure the raccoon got him at this point. Because He got some antibiotics. He got that. He got some painkiller. He hasn't needed the painkiller very much. It was just some soft tissue, and that seems to be healing pretty quickly on his front leg.
I thought he was gonna in a cast and have a cone, and I didn't know what all was gonna happen, but it was just some.
He was full of burrs. I had to deburr him.
So the short version is he's okay.
He's okay.
He's hobbling.
Yet his lymph nodes swelled way up. It looked so weird. Even after he started the antibiotics. So they're coming down now. He's a little bit floppy, but he is on the mend, and he's going to be good to go here. I'm sure by the end of the weekend, he's going to be full speed.
Yeah, it's just not the type of thing you need to happen.
But those, that was the biggest glitch, but there just been a lot of little glitches here and there this week. And coming back to why I brought it up, not just to tell you about our dog, we have both really been able to move through those, I feel like, with minimum stress and minimum frustration.
Once we knew that Arrow was going to be okay, and wasn't going to need like surgery or cast or something that was really going to need him to be confined, because it's really unreasonable to try to do with the way he lives. So yeah.
But even all the mechanical stuff, and we've rolled through it pretty decent. Yeah.
So, but we had we've teased that we had mac and cheese, and it had nothing to do with Arrow's injury.
No, it didn't. It was pre-Arrow's injury.
But this wasn't just Kraft mac and cheese out of a box with the toxic dust mixed in.
No, it was not.
This was your take.
Chris Cooking Nashville. And I just remembered. So Chris Cooking Nashville, genius in the kitchen. So anything I'm about to say does not reflect upon his genius, detract from his genius, or anything. It's all user error. So I think it was last Friday. Was it? No, we were here last Friday. It must have been Saturday. So it doesn't. So we decided we wanted to go a little bit wild with our carnivore diet. So I'm like, well, I could make some macaroni and cheese. I was thinking pizza first, but we didn't have cheese for it. So that type of cheese. So I was like, okay, look, we could do macaroni and cheese. I saw Chris Cooking Nashville, blah, 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 blah. And so I'm like, it is a bit of a project though. It's going to take a while. So I've made his noodles once before, but not extruding them.
So what are they made out of?
They're made out of chicken and some whey protein and eggs, egg yolk, and gelatin. Those are the main components. And it's chicken breast, not ground chicken. So I get it all put together, food processed. It's looking good. It has to rest. I go to pipe it. And I'm like, I thought I had some piping bag. Or no,
so you pipe it into noodles.
Yes. Good. So you put the meat mixture into a piping bag and you pipe it into some simmering water to create the noodle, cook the noodle. It should have approximately the consistency of a noodle from the gelatin and all the other chemical magic that he does. So I was going to just use a Ziploc bag. That was it. So I put it in my Ziploc bag, and then I realized our Ziploc bag has a fold out bottom, so it doesn't have a corner that you can just clip off and use to pipe. So I'm like, okay, well, I have some piping bags. They're small, but I have some. I look in there, one piping bag, one tiny piping bag. So by the time Eric comes to the kitchen, I am just like covered in meat up to my elbows, on my shirt, in my hair, and I'm trying to pipe into the simmering water, and I'm not even strong enough.
I thought being covered in meat, that was a carnivore seduction.
It was not. Again, I was like, my frustration level was probably about a 2. It wasn't too bad, but I was like, this is a big recipe. I don't want it. I can't just throw it away. And it's, kind of expensive once you put all the ingredients in and everything. So I'm like, I can't get it. So then I clipped the hole a little bit bigger on the piping bag. I was originally trying a tip. That didn't work. That created its own issues. So I'm piping into the water, but it's pretty large noodles.
They're like the size of Cheeto.
I was going to say that. The puffed Cheetos, not the little
so
crunchy
pretty big
ones.
noodles.
So I think that's where, if I had the correct equipment, they probably would have turned out better. But they were pretty thick noodles, but it worked. It worked.
And then there's a cheese sauce that you make of cream and some cheese or something.
Yep, some cream and cheese. And I did follow his recipe. I've made macaroni and cheese in the past with gluten-free noodles. That was delicious. But I was like, I'm trusting Chris. It was good. The cheese sauce was nice.
It disappeared.
But it kind of disappeared. And I didn't have any more shredded cheese. Like I had the minimum amount of shredded cheese. So there probably wasn't quite enough cheese. It kind of disappeared. It was a nice casserole.
There's a detail to this.
Oh yeah.
It's been very hot and humid, and then we had the storms come through and it cooled off a little bit. And it looked like fall outside, not with leaves, but just the dark and the rainy. And so this sort of was a fall food kind of thing. So it was like pretending it was fall out.
It was hot
and
humid. But
I was starving by the time we ate. So I ate a lot of it.
Yeah. And it was good.
But it was not fatty enough with that chicken breast.
No, that was true. And my sauce was a little bit runny because in the midst of the piping, you make the sauce before you pipe, right? You're letting your meat rest and congeal, and you make the sauce. But then when you have piping problems, the sauce just sits and turns into a large clump.
Mm-hmm.
So I added a little bit of cream to reconstitute it, and that was a mistake.
Because you combine it with the noodles and then you bake it a little while.
Yeah.
And then it just like sucked into the noodles and vanished.
Yeah.
It was very strange.
Yeah.
But it still tasted good.
Yes.
And it was a nice treat because it didn't taste like chicken at all. Mm-mm. It was complete. The noodles, did they have the texture of a noodle? Not in a classic sense of noodle. Did it have a did it call to mind something that's similar to noodles? It did call to mind something that is similar to noodles. I don't know what that similar to noodle thing is, but did it hit the spot? Did it satisfy? Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
I went back for seconds and I would have eaten all of the rest in this one sitting. I'm glad I didn't, because then I had some for the next night.
Yeah.
But it really needed supplemental fat.
Yeah.
Because I was hungry later.
But I maintain if the noodle weren't the size of a Cheeto, it might have been more noodle-like.
Yeah, maybe. You'll have to try it again someday.
I will try it again. I actually did I bought like 50 piping
Well, that should be
bags,
enough.
And they're a little bit larger instead of this tiny one that I couldn't get purchased. It was weird. So yeah.
I think Amazon is going to open just a warehouse on our property for us. They've come so frequently the past few days.
Because you've got parts on parts on parts.
I've had parts for machinery that I've had to get, and Amazon's a very unreliable source many times for those types of things, but they're fast. And we have a event this weekend, and things have to be running. So
yeah.
They're getting to know us and our dog pretty well. So that was the mac and cheese, Chris Cooking Nashville. If you're just starting carnivore, I don't recommend you do that. But if you've been doing it for 1,100 days, then maybe you can occasionally do that.
Yeah, we just wanted a little change up.
But it was so involved, you can't actually make another side to add to it to fatten it up. And it needed that. Let's check in.
Yeah, let's.
Jugatsu's here with steak.
Hello and welcome back.
And Carnivore Chans is in the house.
Nice to see you.
It is good to see you. And Curtis is here from Michigan. Michelle here from Pennsylvania.
Welcome back, Michelle and Curtis.
And Curtis gets to go back to work next week.
Oh, that's good news, I think.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah, sounds like progress.
Cindy says a carnivore seduction. And Elizabeth.
Hello,
holy
Cindy.
Cow, thank you so much.
Oh.
That's very appreciated.
Oh.
That warms the cockles of your heart.
You made my day. Oh,
Oh no. And Cindy said it again, a carnivore seduction. Ha ha ha.
yep.
So thank you so much, Elizabeth. That's very
Yes.
appreciated.
Chan's. We went to the meetup at the world famous Montello Theater a few weeks back. And Dr. Hampton was there, of course. I was thinking of you the whole time. But I got to talk to him for quite a while. It was just I met him previously at a previous meetup, but we chatted for a while.
Yeah, you
and it
did.
was really nice. He's so wonderful.
Yeah, and
Love
I
him.
was talking to Lynn DeVokie while you were talking to him. So
Yeah.
we had the double carnivore conference happening there. Cindy that's right, from Nicaragua.
Yes.
Jody says, happy Friday.
Hello, Jody.
It's been a very long Friday, but it's been a good one.
We have not seen each other all day.
I've been working outside all day, getting the property ready for events this weekend. We have guests coming 2 days in a row for different reasons. And I was originally not going to try to get the lawn mowed, but I went out there today and I couldn't handle it. I could not handle it. I couldn't handle the lawn in the shape it was. And so I got the lawnmower out and I used it, and it took forever.
Well, I saw the grass clippings. We've had so much rain that it is like a hayfield every time you mow. And you've been on top of the mowing.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. But yes, we are having a couple events this weekend. We're having family tomorrow, and we're having my theater group on Sunday to sort of kick off our theater season. And so entertaining as carnivores.
Yeah, my brother and his kids and his wife are coming, and the older boy, how old is he? 14?
I think he's 15.
15.
He's getting ready to drive.
And the past few years since we've been on this property, every summer we host a day where he brings one of his friends and they get in our go-kart and ride the trails. And for me, it's kind of a thrill because I know how important that would have been to me when I was 14, 15. I wouldn't have killed to do it, but I would have come up to that point. And I love it. I like to mark out the course. I put arrows out so that there's a fun course with lots of turns and stuff. And then I got to think about safety. So then I changed some of the corners, but that was fun. And that meant I had to get the go-kart operational. And I was like, oh, I just need to work on the carburetor a little bit and it'll be ready to go. And then it didn't restart. And I had 2.5 days with my multimeter figuring out what electrical problems I had. Mm-hmm. Short version is it needed a new starter, a new solenoid, a new battery.
You did it.
I did the solenoid twice because the first one I got from Amazon failed instantly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's working. And then I had to change the oil and just all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. So you were outside. I was inside getting ready for these events. And so with the family, we're going to be having sandwiches, basically. So sandwich meat, and cheeses and so forth. However, we of course do not eat the bread. We have your famous
Carnivore flatbread, which isn't mine.
No.
It's a YouTube recipe. I don't know who originated it, actually.
No idea.
I've made it a few times. It's cottage cheese and an egg and some everything bagel seasoning.
Yep.
It's pretty easy to blend up and pour into a pan and put in the oven. But cottage cheese does have carbs in it. So you have to accept that you're going to be getting a little bit larger carb load, but it works out and it's pretty tasty. And it allows us to eat something similar to a normal sandwich while the other people are eating them with bread.
Yep. Yeah. So that works out really well for us. It's pretty easy to do. Of course, I do all the tomatoes and lettuce and everything that people put on sandwiches. I put that out as well. And then Sunday, another thing that we've found successful for us is to do sort of a taco bar Mexican type thing. And we just eat the meat and the cheese and the sour cream. So that's what's happening with the theater group on Sunday. However, I'm making my Danielle Walker. She was known in paleo circles. I don't know if she still is. I've been making this recipe for ages. It's the chuck chili, the chuck roast chili. And we use that for our taco meat. So we will be slightly off carnivore because there are some, you use a nightshade sauce.
We're going to get tomatoes in our bloodstream.
We are. So Sunday is going to be, again, pretty good, but a little bit off.
I'll allow it.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing.
I've made the decision. It's okay for you to eat that.
So that's how we're handling these events this weekend.
Yeah, it's no problem
as
at all.
Carnivores, and
it's easy.
Yeah. And it's getting easier.
Yeah.
I'm getting those few things in my back pocket that seem to work.
I'd prefer them to be on, like a buffet of some sort, so it's easier to get to them. But if it's in your back pocket, it's fine. Jody Lex says, "Happy Friday." Oh, maybe we hit that one already.
Yes, we'll take it again.
Jenna says, "Hi, JJ and Eric and everyone."
Hello, Jenna.
Or Jean. Is it?
Yeah, Gina.
Gina.
Yeah, you're right.
Curtis says, "It's great news to get back to work."
Good.
Given permission to drive as of yesterday. I was surprised how much like riding a bike it was. I am so back.
Oh, congratulations.
Chan says, "I was with him, I think Hampton, Monday, being a good grandpa and moved to the other side of Chicago."
Wow.
Oh, so busy.
We figured.
Yeah.
But that is excellent news as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
It sounds like gnocchi. How do you pronounce that? Gnocchi.
Yes. Yeah.
I was going to go to this. Do you have something else you want to say?
Go ahead. I think that's a better one.
So, a Dr. Barry video popped up on my feed the other day. I don't have the thumbnails, unfortunately, but he had Dr. Bob Sivas on, the carb addiction doc that we all know and love. And I was very excited because I knew they were going to talk about the topics of, they said it, we're going to talk about blood sugar on carnivore. And we know that Dr. Sivas is sort of a contrarian, and he has this concept of insulin suppression that he believes is happening in carnivores. And, I've listened to his videos about it. I've watched Professor Bart Kay refute it. I've not been able to evaluate either argument because I'm not educated enough. And I've heard Dr. Barry talk about it very skeptically. So I was just really interested to hear them talk about it. And it was not a debate.
Dr. Barry is always really respectful of his guests.
But he was also, you could tell he was a little skeptical. But it was a really good listen because there was a lot of stuff that Sivas was talking about with long-term carnivores and then rising blood sugar that we've both been dealing with. So it was quite interesting. I still don't know what to make of the phenomenon as Dr. Sivas talks about it. But the only thing that kind of makes me think that there's some credence to it is that he sees it in clinical practice, not infrequently. And so whatever it is that's happening there, and there's multiple different explanations that have been offered, it is a phenomenon. I think that's non-controversial. It's a phenomenon that has happened to some people.
Yeah. Whether it's deleterious or not is
that's
the question.
Yeah.
And one of the points that he made that I thought was really good was, if it is deleterious, if there is an issue with rising blood sugar, you do want to catch it.
Yeah.
And so he's very much for doing certain testing, not a ton of testing, but like CGMs, et cetera, but doing some testing so that you can evolve your carnivore journey as you move on. And I do know that I have needed to evolve my carnivore journey as I've gone on as well. So I think that's important. Whatever your measure is, to sort of have your pulse on how is your body doing.
I thought the weakest part of what he said was he was talking about people start with insulin resistance, they go carnivore, and that vanishes, and they heal and they heal and they don't stop healing, is what he said. And then it was sort of like they healed too much. And I'm like, no, that doesn't make any sense. He needs to rethink how he phrases that because it really it hurts his argument.
Yes.
Where I think he actually had some interesting views. That one was not, that did not track.
No,
it did not make sense.
That's not good languaging. At one point he said overcorrected, and I thought that was a much better way of explaining. But yeah, talking about healing too much or over healing, that's not, no one wants to.
No. I'm too healthy. I'm so healthy it's gonna kill me.
Well, and it's interesting because it's coming for me. I mentioned on a recent live, it's coming for me off of hearing Dr. Boz talk about that threshold of 105 to 110, whatever
blood glucose,
and that causing some oxidation issues within the body, within the eyes, the kidneys, the nerves, the artery walls, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do personally right now think that even carnivores might want lowered blood sugar.
Yeah, I don't know. I struggle. I think that once it starts to rise above 100 and you're eating really, really solid carnivore, yeah, it's just, I can't get comfy with it. I know some can, I just can't.
Yeah. And then there's the Dr. Kilt's method. Just don't measure. Just don't. So very opposite of Dr. Saivez. And sometimes I like the Kilt's method too.
Yeah, I'd probably be happier if I thought about it less.
Yeah.
But I've so far, easier said than done.
Yeah. Well, and you've had some niggling issues that really do need correction, like your triglycerides. And Dr. Saivez does talk about that in this video. So you have not achieved too much healing yet.
You know why? For some reason, I'm thinking of that Bee Gees song. It's that nobody gets too much loving no more.
Oh yeah.
Nobody gets too much healing no more.
Yep.
I don't know why I like the Bee Gees so much. Because when I was a kid, I didn't care anything about them. And then as an adult, something about their harmonies just broke through my brain and made me love them.
Seriously, he goes on Bee Gees kicks sometimes.
Yeah. Although today I listened to Van Halen the entire time from album 1 all the way through the first Sammy Hagar one. And then I ran out of time. And I was doing David Lee Roth screams occasionally because he screams constantly in those songs. Let's see here.
It takes me back to the skating rink.
I just realized this will be my last Friday live for a while. What are the downsides of working? Fortunately, the replay is available. And all of you should be watching the replay, even if you watched the live.
We will miss you, Curtis, but thank you for letting us know why you aren't here too, because we might not have put 2 and 2 together. So
Simpson says, hi, JJ. And
hello.
Eric. And Simpson's asking Chance a question. Are you still seeing Dr. Hampson? Happy to pass your question along on the live stream. Take this one.
Colleen, hello. Measuring makes me OCD, she says. I had to stop again. There is some freedom in ignoring your numbers, especially if you do go off plan and have carbs. Yeah.
Yeah, the balance of measuring and not measuring is impossible for me. I as a matter of fact, I had resolved, I had actually done some journaling. I was like, I need to stop just for a week. No carnivore videos, no health related videos, no tracking of ketones or blood sugar, no standing on the scale.
Mm-hmm.
Just eat carnivore and live your life, do your things. And within one 15-minute period, I forgot my instructions to myself and I was watching Dr. Saiva's video with Dr. Barry. I couldn't pass it up. But and then I kind of lost track of that resolution.
Well, I did go a couple months this summer without doing any measuring of any kind, really, because we had introduced the fermented dairy, the yogurts, to our diet. And so I was focused on gaining better microbiome, gaining more resilience as far as my heart rate variability, lowering my cortisol. So I knew that if I focused on measuring things and my measuring went off because I'd introduced quite a bit of yogurt, that it would steer me away from those goals. And I didn't want to be steered away from those goals.
But your blood sugar is way better.
Well, as we've mentioned in previous weeks, you cracked the code on a lot of stuff, and you did. And so now we've shifted our eating around, where I put most of my protein earlier in the day, and then my last meal of the day is mostly fat. And I have had incredible lowered blood sugar and wonderful ketones. I wake up almost every morning with the blood sugar in the low to mid 80s and ketones around 1.4.
Yeah.
And so I'm thrilled with that. And I feel so good again. I feel really energetic again. I will say my energy dipped a little bit when I wasn't so deeply in ketosis with the yogurt stuff. I'm still eating the yogurt, but it's on a maintenance dose now, not as high of a quantity. And I put it in the beginning of the day. I did want to mention my current fat bomb that I just came across, though, that I'm doing in the evenings. And that is, I am doing 3 ounces of cream. So yes, I'm still kind of high dairy with the yogurt and the cream, but I'm doing 3 ounces of cream, 2 tablespoons of butter, and 3 egg yolks. And I think that's it. Some vanilla. I do put some vanilla in there and whip it up, put it in the fridge, let it set, and it becomes a pudding. And it's really, really pretty delicious, but it's a nice fat bomb.
Jody says, I guess I'm still insulin resistant. Glucose doesn't like getting to 80. Boz says it means you're insulin resistant. Been carnivore 7 months. I think Boz would be interested in the ratio of glucose to ketones. So 80 in the 80s would be fine if ketones are great. Actually, 80s would probably be fine regardless.
Yeah. Yeah. Always above 80, she says. Yeah. And that's not bad. I don't know how high it gets, but if you're between 80 and 100 most of the time, you're probably
on carnivore
pretty decent.
I would think so. Yeah.
What she says is you don't want chronically elevated where your blood sugar is over 105 most of the time. And ours was, period. It was always over 105.
Yep.
But both ending the day with fat, limiting our protein a little bit. We're not low protein, but limiting it a little bit, especially in that last meal of the day. And also having that earlier eating window is what really has made a difference for us. And you've seen, you're not measuring as much, I don't think, but you've seen improvement in your blood sugars.
Oh,
yeah.
I think Colleen's right. Take a week off tracking. I'm taking that advice, even though she was aiming that at Jody.
Yeah. I'm starting today to take a little time off.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to test that pudding.
Yeah.
And see what happened to my blood sugar if it was still in the normal range, and it was. And so now I'm going to take some time off because I'll be starting with Boz in a couple weeks.
And sometimes it just takes time.
Yes. Oh gosh, yes.
Yeah, the fat is the last meal. Morning ketones were 0.6. When was the last meal and what time in the morning? That morning blood test has to be upon waking. You can get out of bed to do it, but I think Boz would prefer if you didn't. Actually,
she does prefer you.
Yeah,
yeah. But you've noticed that with your blood sugar, that if you wait, you've seen the delayed response, and you've also, if you shower in the morning. You have a
shower boosts my blood sugar instantly. It's a little blip. There's a question. What is Eric reading in the morning?
Oh, what have you've been reading?
I've been reading this book called The Tiger recently. And the author's name is escaping me, but I think it's actually translated from Russian. But it's about Siberian tigers, and one in particular that went on a man-killing rampage. Um, but it's not really just about that. It's the entire story of, because it's like on the far eastern side of Russia near China where this happened. And it's a whole story about that region, the history. Um, it tells you a lot about these Siberian tigers. They're just extremely, extremely smart and deadly. And there's Russia has like SWAT teams that go in and investigate tiger killings because they happen not uncommonly in the area, in the taiga, which is the wilderness there. And it's fascinating, really well written, and it's called The Tiger. It's nonfiction. I'm also finishing up Le Mort d'Arthur, which is the King Arthur stuff. I read that at night. And I've just started another one called, I can't remember what it's titled, but it's a nonfiction from a cosmologist about multiverses, about the multiverse. It's not Marvel.
No, it's not.
So I really like the cosmology and the mind-bending physics stuff too.
Similarly, I've been reading, well, not about cosmology, but I've been reading a book, and I can't remember the title exactly. Oh, Just Be by Suresh Ramaswamy. And it's sort of about non-duality type stuff. So yeah, interesting.
If you can see through the matrix, let me know how you do that.
Yes,
so I
please.
can do it too. Glucose 95, ketones 0.6. Yeah, that's not where you want to target if you're really focusing on. But I mean, it's on the way there for sure. I mean, that's not terrible.
No, it's not. No.
There's a distinction. I think we need to make a distinction.
Yeah.
If you're coming from insulin resistance and you're getting down and you've gotten to this point, that's great. If, however, you've gone past it and we're seeing overnight blood glucose of 65, 70, and you woke up and your glucose was 75 and your ketones were 2, and then you've now started to come back up through your morning glucose is 80, 85, 90, 100, 110. Now you're coming back up, not from insulin resistance, but from a different phenomenon.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been dealing with. And what Dr. Sivas talks
That's
about.
an excellent
But Dr. Boz is usually trying to land people down into insulin sensitivity. She doesn't tend to have the patients who are back on their way back up, typically.
Mm-hmm.
I like the fat bomb idea. I struggle with eating any fat other than butter.
Yeah. Yeah, I did want to pass it along.
Yeah.
Just for that reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I still want to do some of the pork belly and the short ribs that we talked about last week, but it just has not happened this week. We've been busy with other things. And that, again, those feel like cold weather meals to me, sort of like our macaroni and cheese did. Yeah.
Simpson's asking, isn't the increase in insulin upon waking a cortisol response and normal? Yeah, the dawn effect is definitely typical. The question is if you test before that, I invariably wake up before dawn effect starts. So it's very easy for me to see what my blood glucose is before that. But if you sleep through the dawn effect, then it'll be harder to see.
And if your dawn effect, before your dawn effect, you're 105, and then your dawn effect takes you to 115, those are pretty high numbers.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
It depends on if they last. For me, what was happening is I'd get the dawn effect to 115, and then they would just keep going up. And I'd eat breakfast, of course, but it was a carnivore breakfast, and it would go up to 130 and stay there all day long.
All day.
Very weird.
Yeah.
Enchanted Carnivore. We're glad to see you here, Enchanted.
Hello.
Glucose 80, ketone 1. I have such a hard time getting to ketosis, but this is the best reading I've seen in a
Yeah,
while.
that's
Just took
great.
it 2 hours after dinner. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Because if you convert that to a Boz ratio or a GKI, that's very good.
Yep. Yeah.
Because that's a Boz ratio of 80.
Yeah.
And she's generally happy if you're under 100, unless you're trying to do therapeutic stuff, which has to be under 40.
Yeah. Under 100 is great for that ratio. Excellent. Jody says she's going to back off pork belly and chicken, still have some inflammation. Good call. Dr. Bright says chicken and pork high in omega-6s, which can be inflammatory. Yes, that sounds like a good plan. And you've done 7 months carnivore, which is phenomenal, like great. And your journey will shift. It will continue to shift. So yeah, exactly. How does your diet evolve? And this sounds like a good plan for now. We have bacon regularly, both of us. Other than that, we don't have a lot of pork or a lot of chicken.
And actually, I just started having bacon again. It'd been a while since I'd been having any, but my high fat dinner is bacon with egg yolks most nights. And I love it.
Oh my gosh. The other night I had a horrible fatty dinner. I had salami with butter in it. Lots of butter. The salami just gives it a little bit of...
That doesn't sound good at all.
No. I was desperate. We missed the dinner window and I didn't know what I was going to eat. So I had that with sardines. But that said, I did not enjoy dinner, but I said, I am fueling myself. It's okay if it wasn't any good. Breakfast was delicious, my steak. But that night I was like, oh, I'm feeling in ketosis and it's a good thing. And again, I've been pretty steady in ketosis the last few weeks, but I was like, I've just got to check my numbers because I'm curious. And I was at 2.3 at that time with my ketones. So that was pretty dang good. I was going to bed feeling wonderful. Yeah. What?
I dread going to bed these days.
Oh.
I think it's just because I've been doing so much physical work. I'm just kind of in pain at night, and so I'm not comfortable, and it takes a while to get to sleep. Colleen's giving some sardine recipe, and it's not butter.
Oh my!
Tried sardines chopped with onions, but no. She says I mean mayo, not butter, because I was going. Not even I would do that combo.
I am still having it with some mayo and some mustard. I'm not committing to having the sardines without that for Dr. Boz's challenge coming up. I'm not committing to that. If I can do it with sardines and mayo, because believe me, the mayo is not making it any more palatable for me. Maybe, I mean, I get it down with the mayo, but I'm not like, ooh, this is good. So I don't think it's going to trigger any craziness with me.
I just put some salt on the I eat them in the tin. So I pull the tin off, drain the water off, and I put a little salt on it and a little bit of brown mustard, kind of a grainy
brown mustard, yeah.
Deli mustard. And I mash it all together in the tin and I eat it out of the tin and it's good.
Well, I did find that I needed to
spines and all.
Yep. I did need to prepare the sardines. And so I put them in a bowl with the mayo and the mustard and I keep it in the fridge because even just opening the tin is a barrier for me. I will be like, I'm going to have a bite of sardines with every meal today. And then I'm like, and I wiggle out of it. So if I have it prepared, then I really can't wiggle and I grab the bowl and I have some sardines.
I'm proud of you for doing that because fish is, it's more than gagging for you.
It really is. Yeah. I'm trying to associate it with better things too. So it like very often when I have it in the evening, I'll have it with my bratwurst. And so I'll have a bite of brat and a bite of, not together, but a bite of sardines. So the brat I'm
Yeah.
trying to make my mind think it's not a big deal to take these sardines. See how my mind's thinking
Take
of
them
it? I'm taking them. I'm not eating
It's not
them.
like eating a live goldfish.
No.
There's some discussion about a Bella and Dr. Bright video. Did you see that? See it?
Is this where
In
Dr.
Italy.
Bright is coming to her community? To the Steak and Butter Gang community.
Yeah, but this says it was Bella in Italy on vacation.
Yes. Yeah. Very good.
You saw it?
I did see it. Yep.
And then Jody says, Dr. Bright lives in Italy. And the way I'm reading that is we're mad at her for doing that because, well, I don't know where in Italy she lives, but there's some absolutely beautiful countryside in Italy. And we were there so many years ago. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Our daughter was what?
3.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And we stayed, we flew into Milan. We had an event. We went to Venice. It was unbelievable. We got off the train and you walk out and there's the canal and it was a beautiful sunny day and the water was blue. It was like a Disney.
It was
kind of like, this can't be real. Now there were places of Venice that didn't smell the best.
Yep.
But I ate so many pizzas in Venice.
We have that picture. I think you were having a pizza. I was having the why am I forgetting the name of it now? Where the pizza's inside, it's kind of closed. Calzone. Yes. That was like bigger than my head.
And then we went down to Tuscany where we stayed in an agriturismo, supposedly, but it was like some stone building from the 1500s or something. And it looked out over all these olive orchards and it was just gorgeous. I was extremely allergic to olive trees.
Surprise.
Sneezed my head off. I had to go to the pharmacia and tap my nose and go, Allergico Polena. And he went and the pharmacist brought me some nose mist and it worked. Well, but that was just an incredibly beautiful, beautiful place.
It was beautiful. However, I'm going to say this because this actually ties into health. We did not get to see Florence.
No, and really? Why did we? Well, we did go into Florence.
We did go into Florence. We ate a lot of pizza, a lot of bread, a lot of great food. And although, remember back then, we were there for the food and the pasta.
Yeah.
And so we were like, what do you mean this is the pasta you get with meat? No. We are here for the American-sized bowl of pasta, right?
So Lady and the Tramp style.
Yeah. So that wasn't where our mindset was at that time. And so we were eating all the things. And I came down with a UTI, a urinary tract infection, which I was very prone to. And I had one of the worst ever. And we tried the pharmacy again. No cranberry pills or anything there that I would use at home. And so we had to use Rick Steves' guide, because this was pre-big internet, and find an American or a English-speaking doctor, which is not in anything that looks like a clinic. And so you drove us into Florence. We went by the museum. What's it? The
Uffizi.
Yeah. And saw the line. And I am just like, my eyes are watering. I am so uncomfortable. And he's trying to take all the bumps easy and there are scooters flying out at us.
And then the names of the streets change every block, it seems.
Yeah.
And nobody follows any sort of rational driving system.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
and there's no parking.
Yeah. But it was the worst UTI that I have ever had. And I'm eating all the gluten, all the things, even though it's European gluten, whatever. I am convinced that is what did me in, because I got treated, got some antibiotics. That was great. But for the next year, I was sick with a cold or flu every few weeks. I was down and out, and I actually had to get on to a daily antibiotic.
Oh,
And I was on a daily antibiotic for about a year and a half, um, because my health was so shot. And it, again, I totally believe it was dietary and from the food frenzy in Italy that pushed me over
the
the edge.
ongoing antibiotics probably also kept you sick.
Well,
Yeah.
well, eventually, well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it was an awful cycle. And so then a couple years later, we went to France, and I stayed on the antibiotics through that trip because I could not do that again. And then I got off of them after we got back from France.
I'm remembering that Alanis song about antibiotics.
I think of it every
That
time.
thank you song.
Yeah. How about giving up on, or wait, how about, I can't remember it. It's been going
I know
through my
she
head.
makes antibiotics last like for a lot. Yeah,
Antibiotics.
she gets a lot of syllables out of a word with already a lot of
Yes.
syllables.
Yeah. So
Elizabeth says, I asked about Eric's glucose reading in the morning because I'm dealing. Oh, it wasn't about books. It's glucose reading.
Oh,
that makes way more sense. I thought you were like, oh, he's interesting in what's he reading, and I was all excited about my intellect actually was appealing, and it wasn't at all. It was my blood everybody wanted to know about. Because it's same thing. Always in the 80s, and I don't know why I'm at 115 now for no reason. 20 months carnivore.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen the Barry Sivas video, watch it and give it some thought.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could have turned the corner.
Yep. And he talks about some other markers too that that fit into his theory. So,
yep.
Yeah.
The challenge next week is Minnesota State Fair.
Yes. Okay. 2 years ago, though, I went to our county fair. And let me state first, I don't have a big affinity for funnel cakes and fair food. It's not a huge deal for me. So I didn't have to resist all that. But I went to our county fair and was shocked by how much meat there was available. I had no idea that there would be trucks that just have bowls of beef and peppers and stuff, but I didn't get the peppers. So it was really quite easy for me to find food there. And I really didn't know if I would. I mean, you can always have a hot dog or something, but there was no really good grilled meat everywhere. So hopefully you will find similar in our neighboring state.
Well, at our state fair, it's all about the cream puffs.
Yeah.
But I don't go there, and I don't know if I've ever had a cream puff.
I have, but again, it wasn't ever a strong pull for me. So, yeah.
Ketogenic woman had a recent video frying up chopped sardines in tallow. Looked good, but I haven't tried it yet. I did have one can last week. First sardine ever. I didn't like it, I think is what you were going to say.
Well, good for you. Like, seriously, that almost sounded sarcastic. Good for you.
Oh, she has it. Okay. She finished it down here. I didn't love them, but didn't hate them.
Okay. All right.
Well, yeah. Congratulations for doing that.
I was going to say we're kind of sardine buddies then, because I just had mine recently for the first time ever as well. I had a hard time for the first couple times, but it's getting easier, and I have to not think about it. Just eat.
Yeah. Apparently was it Bella that talked about coffee with egg yolk?
Yes. Dr. Bright talks about her morning.
That's like her bulletproof coffee.
Yeah.
So I've heard about this before, but doesn't the hot coffee cook the yolk? Or does it blend in somehow and emulsify into the coffee?
Yeah, she talks about it a little. I can't remember exactly what she says, but then Bella asked if she could do it cold. And I think Dr. Bright said she does a cold brew too.
Cold coffee? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, why not? I just drink my coffee black. Mm-hmm. Although I do put creatine in my second cup if I have a second cup. Oh, Jody lived in Italy for 6 months.
Ah, nice.
The one thing that we noticed different between some extended time in Italy versus France was the Italians adored our daughter. who was 3 at the time.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
She was, what did that woman say? Bella Piccolina?
Yep.
And gave her treats?
Yes.
Bella Piccolina. I don't know what it means. Beautiful girl or something?
Little one
Little
or
one,
something,
yeah.
I think. Yeah.
No, the in France,
was gonna
they weren't mad at her. They didn't insult her. They didn't stop us in the street and swear at our daughter. I'm not saying that. They just weren't in love with her the way that the Italians generally were everywhere we went.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about that one. Got lost in Venice.
Oh.
Got back to our hotel by miraculous memory.
I can believe that.
Yeah.
I did not venture out on my own. You would go out for a run.
Not in Venice.
I thought you did in Venice.
No, I don't think so. I run to get pizza. Remember where we stayed? They would put a bag of bread on our doorknob.
Yeah.
That's a pretty nice thing if you eat bread.
And it's not going to make you sick for the next year and a half.
Oh, those were the days. Colleen's saying that Italian flour is lower in glyphosate and gluten.
Yes.
I've heard many people talk about eating Italian bread without. I mean, I don't remember being exceptionally bloated ever in Italy.
We have an Italian restaurant that's been around for decades, family owned, in our local town. And their son, all the kids grew up in the restaurant, and their son actually had his own restaurant for a while in the big city of Milwaukee. But now he's shifted and he actually imports flour from Rome and has a manufacturing plant that creates pinsa, Pinsa crusts that are from that European flour. And before going carnivore, they finally convinced me to try it. I was like, well, we'll see. I don't know. And I had to have a time where I wasn't working or anything, right? Because if it laid me flat on my back for several days, I needed to be clear. So I finally got clear in my schedule and had it. And the first time I had it, I didn't seem to have any effects. The second time I had it was not, I don't know. It could have been coincidence, but the second time it didn't quite work for me as well. So.
Well, fortunately, you're a carnivore now.
But now I don't have to worry about it at all.
You don't have to be tempted.
And unfortunately, we don't go to the Italian restaurant anymore because I like the people.
They used to have a steak there.
They used to have a steak.
And they removed it from the menu because nobody going to that restaurant wanted a steak.
And they had chicken cacciatore, which again is off plan, but it was braised chicken. And they don't, they narrowed their menu after 2020 and yeah.
So Simpson says, I have an eggy coffee every morning. It doesn't cook the egg. I add the coffee slowly to the eggs that I have already whipped up. It is very creamy and yummy. And that's what Enchanted is saying. Not if you pour it in slowly. It doesn't cook. Huh. I feel like I need to try that.
I feel like they said it was almost added a little bit of caramel, almost essence. But I'm not sure if I'm remembering correctly. You can let me know. But I feel like they said something about that because I like caramel. And so I was like, oh.
Kevin's here from Los Gatos, California.
Hey, Kevin, welcome back.
The boys liked your 12-year-old daughter too much in Italy. Yeah, their pizza is thin crust. You can eat a whole pizza yourself. You can eat a whole lot of pizzas yourself.
Yeah.
We'd walk home with 5 boxes. Hope is here. Late. Watching on 2X.
Hey, Hope.
When you watch on double speed, all of our annoying sort of Shatner-esque pauses get filled up much quicker. And I have to credit the Shatner-esque pause to the late great YouTuber Paul Harrell, who every time he would offer his caveat about his Shatner-esque pauses. May he rest in peace. A friend with a home bakery and all she uses is Italian flour. JJ invented a new carnivore food, the choodle.
Yes.
I love this. I love this name. We are going to have to make a video about your choodles and you will make them big like that on purpose, and we'll have a video, carnivore choodles. And then pretty soon it's gonna be so much in the community that it'll be on par with the chaffle.
The choodle.
Chaffle and choodles for breakfast. Yes, please.
I love it.
Colleen is confirming the caramel flavor.
Okay.
And Bella mentioned it. Simpson likes JJ's giggle when you watch it at 2x speed.
I'll have to check that out at some point.
Well, having edited you and listened to you on fast forward, it is kind of a chipmunky. Yeah, JJ's laugh is best on 2x speed. So we have been watching and have completed now one of the dumbest TV shows of all time.
Okay, go ahead. You start.
It's a reality show on Netflix that I just turned on one day just out of, I needed something stupid and actually something I wouldn't engage too much in. So what would that be? Well, naturally it would be a dating show because I have no interest in it. Zero. And it's called Love is Blind. Maybe you've seen it. I hate this show. And we watched every season of
it. But like the first 3 seasons. Okay, we started with season 8 and then we backtracked to season 1. Yeah. So the first 3 seasons that we watched roughly though, I thought it was really amazing because we were talking so much about our relationship and the early days and where we are now. So it was really this amazing, rich conversation that we had around the first few weeks. But then it's sort of we were done. Yeah,
the problem is you watch Where Are They Now? And I don't want to give any spoilers in case you haven't seen it. But let me just say that love is blind if you never meet the person. I think that's what they should do is they should go up and have the wedding and then they meet them. That's how it should work.
Ooh.
But it has been interesting because I don't see weddings these days. When we just saw a wedding a month or so ago.
Yep.
It was the first wedding I've been to in a long, long time. Little unusual, but not, I mean, the standard thing. People are up front getting married. People are sitting watching. That hasn't changed. But there are some new fashions and trends in weddings I had no idea about.
Yeah. Yeah, we're kind of in that in-between age where we're that middle generation.
Yeah.
So there aren't many weddings.
But now we're done. And I just found out there's a UK version of the show. So I'll have to watch that. Not because I want to see it, but just because I like being mad about it. And basically any reality show is better with accents.
True.
Hope is watching a TV show. Working on a TV show. That's right. I haven't stayed carnivore on set except for spices and sauces. I have wiped as much sauce off as possible. I have stayed carnivore.
Yes.
Fortunately, I am having major skin issues today. Well, can't you go to craft services and say, look, I'm special. I need carnivore compliant foods. Keep your spices and sauces off or I'm out of here. Isn't that how it works?
Yeah, I will bet we'll be pretty good. I'll be pretty good. Let me speak for myself. I'll probably be pretty good on Monday, nothing major, but after eating deli meat and slightly off for a couple days, I'll probably feel a little bit different on Monday. We'll see.
Let me guess, Red Cross is calling me. If you've ever donated blood with Red Cross, they will call you more than anyone else in your life. And all they want is your blood.
That's all.
I mean, at least Elizabeth just wanted to know about my blood. The Red Cross just wants my blood. And what are they offering me? Well, sometimes they offer me a little Amazon gift certificate. Maybe they offer me a t-shirt. More recently, they were offering me an A1C test. And I was like, on what planet do I want your A1C test? Don't you know I'm carnivore? And they don't.
They don't.
They don't. They just want my blood. O positive is what they want, and
They
that's
do.
what I've got. But I haven't donated in a while.
Mm-mm.
I need to get back in there and contribute, because I mean, I don't like doing it, but I like having done it. I was doing it every other month consistently for over a year.
Well, speaking of not measuring, I guess I'm going to backtrack on what I said previously, and your blood comment made me think of it. Um, I said I'm not going to be measuring anything in the next couple weeks. Like I'm not going to be checking my glucose and my ketones all the time. But I do want to get a blood test at Quest here, probably about 2 weeks from now, pre Dr. Boz, right?
Because you're doing her thing.
Because I'm doing her course. So pre Dr. Boz, she doesn't require it, but she does recommend it. But not even that. I have been doing this whole different plan all summer with the yogurt and now high fat. So I want to see where my numbers are at the end of this whole 3-month period, 3.5 months. So I already wanted to get in there. So I will be actually doing measurements like that, but I won't be obsessively measuring.
Sharon says, I hope people are not eating raw egg whites. Dr. Berry talked of that the other day. What did he say about it? I don't know about not eating raw egg whites other than they bother my stomach.
I know that he, I don't know if this is the same video, but he has mentioned that if there's any anti-nutrients in carnivore, it's in the egg whites.
Oh.
So I believe that's what he said.
You
can let me know.
I separate out the egg whites and eat the yolks. So
yeah.
But I'm also cooking the yolks.
Well, I'm not cooking them in my fat bomb, but it's just yolk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've eaten so many eggs. Oh, you're like all my life. When I would make an egg, I would make 1 or 2 eggs. It's laughable now that I would think, I will have eggs and bacon, and it'll be 2 eggs and 3 pieces of bacon and maybe a piece of toast. That's breakfast. That's not even getting started with the amount of eggs I need to eat. But I've cracked so many eggs. I don't know how many double yolks I've come across. It's always a little bit of a surprise, but it's not that unusual.
We are really fortunate now that we live 3 minutes from the mushroom farm. You've heard us mention it before. And they have fresh eggs. You can get them in a flat of 30 and 3 minutes up the road. And they're open every day of the year from 9 to 6, period.
So if you need eggs, that's where to get them.
But it's 9. So if we forget to get them the night before and you're wanting breakfast at 7:30, 8 o'clock,
got to wait till 9.
You got to wait.
Simpson has a question for you.
Are you doing the sardine fasting thing for 3 months? No. Definitely not the sardine fasting thing for 3 months. I know that Dr. Boz does the 72-hour sardine fast as part of her program. So I'm anticipating that I will be doing that. I know it's part of the program. It's not like she forces you, but I'm paying for the program. So I do want to try it. Even if I do put mayo in my sardines, I want to still try it as best I can. So I've been sort of prepping just the last few weeks, having some sardines. And then over the past 3 months, I've really worked on adding more microbes, ferments, and fermented dairy. And then also more recently, the last 3 weeks, upping the fat in that last meal of the day and lowering my protein a little bit. So between those things, I want to see what the numbers say.
The yogurt thing, I continue to eat it most days, just a little bit, and I like it. It's a nice little treat. I don't know if it's beneficial or not. We were going to do a video about it because we recorded making the yogurts.
Yep.
But we haven't put it together because I think that the takeaway is it grows your fingernails. I'm not really sure. It's hard to attribute any specific benefit to it. But I wanted to bring up Dr. William Davis just had a video where it was so funny to me because he was talking about how some people will blame the wrong thing for various health issues. And he was like, say you're walking by the bank and you're dressed in a black coat and a black hat, and the bank robber who just ran out was wearing that. but the cops arrest you because you happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, dressed the wrong way. And he's like, so many health issues are pointing at the wrong villain. And I was like, really, Bill? Tell me more about this. And he started talking about oxalates specifically being blamed for all kinds of health issues. But he's like, no, there's a specific microbe you need, and it digests the oxalates so you don't absorb them. And I'm like, okay, I follow, but you're doing the very thing you're talking about, attributing every disease under the sun to SIBO, and it can be cured with SIBO yogurt. Now, he may be right about a lot of it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I just thought it was almost, is the word ironic? I don't know, just kind of funny. Because I mean, we've seen this with all manner of things, whether it could be mold. What is it? SIRS is a big one now.
SIRS.
Histamine sensitivities, chronic fatigue was an older one. Radio waves, and there's always people who eliminate something and they get better.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's others who eliminate it, nothing happens.
Yep.
So you never know.
Yep.
You probably said this already, but is it the L. reuteri yogurt you are eating?
Yes, we eat L. reuteri, B. infantis. Or no, I eat B. infantis.
I don't eat the infantis.
That's the one I eat.
It sounds like infant, and I don't like it.
It does. And then there's Gasseri, L. Gasseri,
yep,
and B. subtilis.
That's right. So the reuteri, subtilis, and Gasseri are the SIBO yogurt.
Mm-hmm.
Some people will make those in the same batch together, but JJ makes them separately.
Yep.
And so I do a couple little spoonfuls of each in a little ramekin, and then I eat that. And it's tangy. Can I say I love it? No, but I don't hate it as much as she hates sardines.
No, that's for sure.
Joss says, I saw the Dr. Davis video too and thought the same thing.
Yeah. It's tough though, too. I mean, I do understand that, especially if you're sort of an internet doctor, you have to have a very clear message.
Yeah.
And so I do get that. And I think a lot of the doctors have their own very clear messaging. And it excludes some of the population naturally because...
Well, this is what's so beautiful about YouTube and the doctors who are good YouTubers is because we can consume them all.
Yeah.
And over time, some of the doctors overlap with what they're saying, and it starts to build a network of information that kind of makes sense. And then you can do an experiment.
Yeah. Yep. And I feel like my fat bomb, no, how you started to put the pieces together, really working out the blood sugar thing. But the thing that got me was that it took these little bits from all these different doctors and put them together. The network connected for me.
Yeah. The dots
all these
connected.
little pieces, and even the reuteri was in there because I told you my blood sugar did start to go down this summer. Was the reuteri part of that?
Could be.
I don't know. But yeah, it was interesting because all the things
I don't know. This might be
Uh-oh.
a lot for people to take, but it might have been the carbs in the yogurt.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
We talked about that after watching the Saiva's video. It could have been the carbs.
Yeah, maybe.
That did it.
I don't know, something you said reminded me of remember Dan the Man?
Yes, absolutely.
A YouTuber. I don't know if he's still on YouTube anymore. He was always kind of divorcing YouTube every once in a while because of reasons. But he was a raw vegan who he didn't juice. He did smoothies.
Yeah, I think so.
He did juice though occasionally. But I remember he rode across the country only eating bananas or something. It was a crazy stunt. But I remember he would list a video called The Recipe. And you could just tell it was whatever he had in the refrigerator went in. It wasn't a recipe. It was just a blended up smoothie of whatever he had. And then I remember he was like, I got comments I shouldn't be blending up the seeds from the apples because it's full of arsenic. He's like, let us know if you've seen Dan the Man.
Yeah, he was a real interesting guy, but extremely energetic and high on life.
He had a good persona for
Yeah.
YouTube because he took himself very seriously.
That is true.
Oh, very amusing. Anita, the ketogenic woman, just put a video out for browned butter sardines.
Huh.
And you're saying they looked really good. I can't imagine that being good.
I didn't see that one. I have been watching some of her videos more recently, though, because I have been having more fat, but I did not see that one.
Well, you made some brown butter bites, I don't know, a couple months ago.
Yeah, there's.
I hated it. I took a bite. I thought, what did you put in here by mistake that contaminated this with plastic? It tasted like you melted a plastic spatula into a butter bite mold and then fed it to me. I had to spit it out and wash my tongue off. I have rarely had something that horrible, ostensibly a food. Now, I would have to say, I asked for this because I wanted to try them.
Yeah.
But I did no idea that it was going to be that appalling.
You called it acrid as well. So I think I might have gone beyond the browning first. And second, we think that the silicone mold might have been
contaminated with plastic spatula.
I mean, we washed it off, but it was not.
The reason it's very specific to plastic spatula was once a plastic spatula fell in the dishwasher and it landed in the bottom on this heating thing, and it melted it, and the whole house was filled with this horrible stench of melted plastic. So I'm not a fan, but maybe the sardines offset the brown butter bite and make it taste better.
Hey, those brown butter bites are still in the freezer, so we could try them with the sardines.
Marla is O positive also and donate to the Red Cross. I love brown butter bites, says Sharon. I eat them every morning for breakfast. I once burned them and it was disgusting. So it's sounding like they were burnt. Burnt butter bites, not for the win.
No.
So I'd try them if you made them again. But you ate that one in front of me and you didn't seem to be bothered by it.
I wasn't as bothered as you, but then you put these ideas in my head though, and then I can't go back. Like when we had lamb. I was like, oh, this isn't bad. And you had kept talking about hoof juice. And then I couldn't eat anymore because I just couldn't stop thinking about hoof juice.
I don't think you're as sensitive to flavor as I am.
No, I'm not.
And she's definitely not as sensitive to pain as I am. She has grievous injuries and just kind of, I'll just put some duct tape on that and things I've got to get done. And I get a paper cut. I'm like, I can't do anything the rest of the day.
Sick day.
Sick day. This is the worst agony I've ever experienced. And she just gets injured and her eyes water a little bit, but then she moves on. Like this one day I get out of the shower. We probably told this story, but many of you weren't with us early on in the channel. I come out of the shower and she comes into the bedroom and she's holding a paper towel to her eye. And she says, "The good news, I didn't stab my eyeball." And there's blood everywhere. And she was dislodging frozen ice maker in the freezer with a chef's knife, trying to jab it out. And it turned on the ice and came back and stabbed her
right in the corner,
1 millimeter from the eyeball.
Crazy.
And I'm like, you've got to go to urgent care. And she's like, just give it a minute.
Well, there were a couple reasons for that, though.
Minute.
So first of all, I would never recommend using a knife improperly for any tool. I learned my lesson. Never going to happen again. Our daughter just heard that and laughed. Don't do what I did. Was nearly the very cautionary tale. But two reasons. Number one, we were kind of still in COVID land at that time when it happened. So I didn't really want to go to the hospital. Number two, we have watched too many episodes of Botched, which is two plastic surgeons who do revision surgeries. And a lot of their revisions are on people who made very poor choices about plastic surgery. But there are a number of them who went to emergency rooms.
Mm-hmm.
And emergency rooms, they're just doing what they need to do immediately, right? They're not finessing things necessarily. So I was scared that I would get some heinous scar issue from the emergency room doctor doing stitches. So I was like, let me just see. I know it's crazy. Let me see if it stops bleeding and if I can close it sort of myself. And I did. It was a very clean wound because you keep the knives very sharp. And so, yeah, over the next week or so, I really worked on getting it closed, keeping it disinfected. And at night, I would put a patch over it so that it didn't get bumped or anything. And it healed incredibly, I must say. Now, do I recommend not going to the hospital? If it had continued bleeding, I would have had to go.
I would have been down for a month. I would have been reliving it. I would have been journaling about it. I've been like, this has woken me up.
Well, it did.
About more than just knife safety.
I regularly am like, I am so very thankful that I still have my right eye. One day she's like, oh, my foot hurts, my toe hurts. And eventually it nags her so long, she goes to the doctor. They do x-rays. Her toe's broken. And she's been walking around with a broken toe. If I had a broken toe, you'd never hear the end of it. I'd be talking about nothing else. Here's the thing. I used to dance, right? So I'm like taping it and there's not that much you can do for a broken toe, whatever. But the problem, it wouldn't heal. And it didn't help that I was choreographing 2 or 3 times a week at the theater. So I waited till I was done with my theater choreography. We were almost to the show. And that's when I went to the doctor finally. But it was not healing. And it needed, at that point, I needed to stay off it. I couldn't just do a boot. They're like, no, you're crutches.
And then we got that peg leg knee thing that you walked around on. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Well, JJ, I think that's it. Oh, but no, it's not. You're right.
Let's see.
Enchanted says 30 watching, but only 11 likes. Maybe
Thank you, Enchanted.
Thank you for bringing that up. Please do like and subscribe.
Yes. And even if you're watching the replay, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Jody says, I can so relate to you, JJ.
Yeah. Yep. I did have a friend though of mine she's like her daughter was very similar and she's like, I want you to hear me, JJ. You have to be very careful because you can't minimize things. This could really get you in trouble. And so I did hear her words. So I do try to take that into consideration, although I haven't, knock on wood, had anything really happen, but she made a very good point. So.
Well, thank you so much. We did not have a video last Tuesday.
No, we did not.
It was too crazy getting ready for this weekend. We will have something this coming Tuesday, and then we will be back here to get your 11 likes next Friday. So thank you so much for your ongoing support and loyal watchers. We love you. And we wish you a great, wonderful weekend. And with that, every day stronger,
every day more blessed.
lipids are high. Their doctors are worried they're both gonna die. Is LDL harmless? They sure hope it's so. It's the JJ and Eric Carnivore Show. Salad is toxic, seed oils are doom. They rub on tallow like greasy perfume. Ribeyes and bacon, that's all they know. It's the JJ and Eric Carnivore Show. No wheat, no kale, they're laughing at greens. 18-hour fasts are their favorite routines. Sugars for suckers, they're chomping on fat. Streaming to you live from the tallow fat. Eric's got muscles, JJ's got zen. They're coming to chat with their carnivore friends. So toss out the lettuce, embrace the beef glow. It's the JJ and